game was so much better than the final. I don't know why the final was not.
Final's boring.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Liv'n Life Unfiltered, the podcast that is a health and wellness conversation with your friend, except we brought the expert too. I'm Kendall, your host, and today's topic is about one of the biggest and fastest growing topics on social media, and that's peptides. If you've been scrolling through social media or been on any platform, you've probably seen people claiming that peptides can help with everything from weight loss and muscle recovery to healthy skin and even slowing aging process. But are these claims backed by science, or are they all just about the hype? To help us separate fact from fiction today, I have Family Nurse Practitioner Michael Tellez.
Tellez, yeah.
Thank you for being here. Before we dive into peptides, I'd love to our listeners to get to know who you are a little bit better.
So I'm 38 years old now. I father of two. I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, both girls. Been doing emergency medicine for about 7 years and been doing nurse practitioners for about the last 7 years too as well. Family wellness, aesthetics, hormones, weight loss. It's been kind of my thing the last 7 years and really been practicing and honing in my skills and really kind of loving it right now.
So what made you become a family nurse practitioner?
Honestly, it was a goal. By the time I was 30, I told my mom, my kids, my wife, everyone, I was like, by the time I'm 30, I want my master's no matter what. I just wanted to have my nurse practitioner and my master's degree. That was my goal by the time I turned 30. So literally, birthday's May 30th. I graduated May 15th with my master's and had my first big boy job by August. So
Where'd you graduate from?
University of Texas at Arlington. That was for my master's. My undergrad's from Texas Tech, and then my ADN's from Lone Star.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of degrees.
Normally, how I start off my episodes, I do a little common myth that I look up, and it's something that I see on social media a lot that creates confusion, is how peptides are the same as steroids. Saw that a lot when I was researching, but how are peptides actually different from steroids, and why do so many people confuse those two?
Yeah, so peptides are actually part of our amino acid chain. So picture the actual peptide like like a text message. So short text message, short and sweet. We kind of text back and forth. Where the actual testosterone or the synthetic testosterone, which we give our patients, or even the all natural, the bioidentical testosterone, is basically a androgen delivery system. So picture like a gas pedal on a car. The testosterone is straight into the system, straight doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Whereas again, the peptide is literally, like I said, text message. We're going back and forth, back and forth. And basically you got to stay on top of that message. So for you guys, the younger kids, it's like a snap streak. The longer the streak is going, the more use of the peptide you'll get.
Oh my gosh, the snap streak. I have not done Snapchat streak.
That's the easiest and most effective
Good
way.
Yeah. That's the most effective way to put that. So, a general question, but what are peptides? How would you describe it with especially because I don't know anything very medical, so how would you describe to someone that may not have a medical degree what peptides are?
It is literally just an amino acid that's in our body that is already there. It's just whether or not we want it to activate it. So we got to keep going back to it and activating it and activating it and activating it.
Right.
So that's basically what a peptide is. So it's already in our body. We're just helping it out by activating it a little bit more.
Yeah. So while peptides are not new to medicine, their recent rise in popularity has sparked major interest in the wellness and anti-aging space. It feels like they're everywhere right now and all over social media. Like I said earlier, while researching this episode, I came across a Scientific American article, and that explained how peptides have become a major wellness trend. And influencers claim that peptides like FNP-C and TB can help with recovery. GHK, CU, and KPB can improve skin and hair, and there's so much more. It feels like they're kind of exploding with popularity. So why do you think suddenly they're now getting a lot of attention since they've been around for so long?
Pretty much it's just social media, TikTok, Instagram. They are blowing up. They've been around. BPC's been around for a while. CJC's been around for a while. They've been studied a little bit longer than most. Your new ones, like you said, the GHKCU, KPV, or yes, your anti-aging, which again, right now everything's health and beauty. So everything's health and beauty. So yes, anti-aging, everyone's jumping on it, and there are some claims and benefits from it too as well.
Yeah, because we were talking earlier, and I kind of fall for that propaganda, but it's just like everywhere you're scrolling, it's like everyone's working out now. People are wanting to meet the standards of beauty. It's just grown and it's huge, and now everything is social media. A popular topic that people are also talking about is, and like I said, working out. A lot of muscle recovery performance, especially for athletes. I've had a lot of athletes actually reach out and ask questions about peptides and if they should take them, especially during the healing. And according to Peptides Institute, IGF-1 LR3 is a modified version of IGF-1 that stays active in the body longer and has gained attention for muscle growth and recovery. So, what does the research actually show about its effectiveness for using performance or healing for peptides?
IGF's newer one on the market. It's a growth hormone, so it's going to secrete, or what's called a secretagogue, which basically is a pulsatile hormone that kind of works at night. So the more you go to it, the more it's going to pulse out at night. With that said, you're going to get your lean growth, your lean mass, your muscle growth, and it does have another side effect of actual wound repair, tissue repair. More so your BPC 157, your KPV, your TB 500. Those are actually for inflammation, gut repair, tendon repair. The way they actually work is, let's say if your knee's bothering you, right? We talked about
Yeah.
knee pain, stuff of that nature. So what it actually goes in there and actually does is actually helps out the knee by repairing the tendons in a very microscopic way. And it's a text message. We're texting the body saying, hey, activate this peptide, activate this part of this chain
Yeah.
to actually decrease inflammation, which helps decrease the pain, decrease the swelling, and then also improve the actual function of the knee itself. So
Yeah, I think that that's really interesting, especially since I played a sport. I wish that I knew that a lot sooner
oh yeah,
when I had knee surgeries and everything. Also, there's another peptide that's interesting more for the older generation, and that's collagen.
yeah.
According to the WebMD, collagen peptides are small pieces of collagen protein that are commonly used in supplements for skin, joint, and aging support. Research suggests they may help improve skin hydration and elasticity, and evidence supporting claims like increased muscle strength and other health benefits. Collagen peptides are popular, like I said, for the older generation. So, what should people expect when they're taking them?
Yeah. Like you said, smoother skin,
Yeah.
less fine wrinkles, better hair, a little bit of muscle growth, but nothing crazy. So collagen's a very, very smaller peptide when it comes to all these other peptides,
Yeah.
right? Again, we got to keep going to it and using it and using it. So it's not one of those ones where you just use one time and you're done. It's going to
Yeah.
be something you have to stick with every day. Taking either the collagen in your coffee, like most people do, collagen shots, which I know my wife is on right now, collagen protein that you can drink too. So,
Yeah. And this is just a general question, but like, what age group did that really apply to?
I mean, you can start as early as 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's
Most of the people are, that are doing are usually like you're 45 and up.
yeah.
Yeah.
This segment is a little bit more of like kind of the gray area of peptides because I know that even though they've been around for so long, there's just so much research still coming out with how peptides are being used, and the biggest trend is growing with peptides. But now that there's that hype and the trends, there also comes with the fact that there could be safety
Yeah.
issues.
Yep.
Like people can be concerned about taking them and
Mhm.
may have heard some side effects, or there's not enough science that backs them up. So the FDA has raised concerns about the lack of strong evidence supporting some peptides therapies being reviewed for possible use. From your perspective, what should patients know about potential benefits and risks when taking peptides?
Your peptides that are more so geared to muscle growth, muscle mass, leanness, your weight loss peptides, those are going to be the ones that are more centered around your HGH, human growth hormone. So it's going to be a synthetic version. So now we raise the concern of like, what are we actually raising in the body when it becomes your HGH? A lot of things could happen. So that's why we do a lot of blood testing and markers and stuff like that at the beginning and at the end, because with these growth hormones we can actually make cancer cells, if they're hidden or something like that or dormant, we can make them increase because now we're feeding it basically.
Yeah.
Basically we're adding fuel to the fire. So that's why it's super important to, like, they're medically supervised during this. That's why they're ran on stacks, 4, 6, 8, 12-week stacks. Most of them, they're pretty safe. You have small site reaction, joint pain, swelling, some of that stuff, flushing, dizziness. Those are just the common side effects. But again, like you said, majority of these peptides are not FDA approved because there's no human trials or data that's ran.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that we're getting and a lot of the side effect profiles that you see that are out there, basically from your influencers, your Instagrammers, stuff of that nature, because basically they're being our research dummies, unfortunately.
Like, I'm kind of that way. Like, if something isn't really working with my body, I do have the tendency to freak out. I'm like, why am I acting a little off? And I feel like people don't know side effects because even though they can research it, sometimes people experience some
Yep.
other ones that they're like, why
Yep.
is that happening?
Yep.
So I think that that's really important to understand, especially with the influencer dummies that are just out there really trying to push this on us.
Exactly.
And we have no idea what we're looking at.
Exactly.
So with so much of the information online, it can be difficult for people to kind of know what is legitimate and what is just marketing. So, or why is it so important to go to a healthcare provider when considering peptide therapy?
Basically, we have, again, the knowledge, the expertise. We've studied a little bit more. Again, everything's tailored to you. So we're looking at you as a whole. We're taking your blood work, we're looking at it, we're monitoring you, we're bringing you in for follow-ups, and we're following you throughout the course of, like I said, 4, 6, 8, 12-week stacks. So we want to see at 4-week mark, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? At the 8-week mark, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? We put you on a body count. We check your lean body mass. We check your actual body fat percentage. We see if you're growing, you're losing, stuff of that nature. So we get to monitor it a lot more versus if we get it out of the backside of a gym, you just, hey, here, take it, we'll see you. You come back with your next dosage. So
yeah, and then especially like online, it's just so easy to access stuff now. And like I saw a bunch on Amazon, which is pretty scary to know.
Exactly. And you see a lot of stuff that you get on Amazon, you get a piece of paper that has a certificate of authenticity or the purity of the lab. So that's where it's like you don't know what you're truly getting in those products.
I'd rather go to a healthcare provider. I'd rather have someone who has that background and knowledge.
Exactly. Where majority of our peptides are coming from an actual 503B pharmacy, which means we're getting a pure peptide.
So with Vitality, at Vitality, how do you approach peptide therapy differently by evaluating patients' like health history, their goals and needs for recommending treatment?
Yeah, we look at a patient as a whole, not as just, well, this is what I want, this peptide, I want this. No, we're gonna look at everything. We're gonna look at, all your blood work, we're gonna look at your vitals, we're gonna look at your body comp. We want to actually treat you as a whole, treat you as a true person, treat you rather than just a patient, treat you like an actual friend, and actually truly figure out what do you actually need, because at the end of the day, these peptides are just tools. That's it. Peptide, everyone wants a peptide, right? You say a peptide, everyone wants it, but not every peptide is made for every person.
Right.
That's where it becomes where we have to step in and be like, hey, look, this peptide's not meant for you. Your goal and what you're trying to achieve, the peptide won't help.
Yeah.
And we have those hard conversations with patients rather than spending $300, $400, $500 on peptides and not getting any benefit and then bashing peptides in general. This is where we step in and be like, hey, this is what would be more beneficial for you.
Right. And with peptides, I'm not sure how this works, but like if you were taking it consistently and then it just wasn't making any progress getting off of them, is that dangerous or does that do anything?
No, you just basically go back to normal.
So if someone is interested in learning more about peptides after listening today, what's the biggest piece of advice you'd give to them?
Be curious, do your homework, always do your own research. There's a lot of excitement that's coming around these peptides. A lot of influencers, a lot of celebrities are getting on them and starting to promote them. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of misinformation that's out there. So make sure you're getting adequate information from a good source. Okay. Make the decision based on science. That's where we step into play versus just on what's the trend.
Yeah, that's great advice. Michael, thank you so much for being here and giving us kind of your input and your knowledge on peptides. I think the biggest takeaway for peptides is they are very exciting and they are going to change the way medicine is for the future, and I think that's awesome. But it is also important to look beyond social media and really prioritize doing your research, background checks on everything, and going to a healthcare provider, making sure you have all the right claims before you jump into something that might affect your body.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like and comment, subscribe. We have our event Saturday, July 25th. Come out, say hi, and ask any other questions about health that you want to be answered or featured on the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. This video is produced and owned by Vitality Hormones and IV Bar.